The first legitimate Woj and Shams bomb of the offseason has arrived, with the Houston Rockets dealing their star big man Christian Wood to the Dallas Mavericks for a number of players and the 26th pick in this year's draft. The obvious winners of this trade are the Dallas Mavericks, pairing Luka Doncic with a legitimate lob threat in C. Wood that's going to be absolutely insane. Their offense is probably going to take another leap next season. However, I've seen a lot of people on my timeline saying the Rockets got fleeced in this deal, which is absolutely not the case in my opinion. In fact, I think this deal all around makes so much sense for the Rockets, and I'm very glad that they made it as a fan of this team. So, I'm here to explain why I feel this way today. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this, but with that being said, let's talk about this trade for the Houston Rockets. On the surface of the trade, the big positive I can take away from it is that the Rockets were able to free up some more cap space and gain draft capital, which for a rebuilding team, you'll take any day of the week. Considering the fact that the Rockets' hands are tied with the John Wall situation too, freeing up cap space is a positive. Now, while the players the Rockets got back in this deal are solid, I like the return of Sterling Brown, and having Boban Marjanovic on your team is always a blessing. I highly doubt that the majority of them will see a lot of action during the course of the regular season consistently. I just don't think the team is built to play them a lot right now, particularly guys like Marquise Chris. However, while getting a bunch of players who probably won't play for a borderline all-star doesn't seem like a great deal, if you unpack it a bit more, you'll see why it makes so much sense for the Rockets. The Rockets have the third pick in this upcoming draft, and now with Christian Wood gone, it opens up the chance for them to select Paolo Banchero third overall without worrying how he's going to fit in to this lineup. Without C. Wood, Banchero won't have to come off the bench, as he is a big man, and in turn, that's going to free up more minutes for him to develop alongside the sophomore players, like Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun. On the note of those two players, and really the young core as a whole, the absence of Christian Wood should do wonders for this young team. Wood needed the ball in his hands pretty often to make an impact last season, and to some extent, that hindered the development of guys like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and Alperen Sengun. The reason why I say that statement with confidence is because these young players all took huge leaps in the final 7 games of the season in 2022. Those games being the games where the Rockets decided to rest Christian Wood for the remainder of the season, as there was no point in risking injury in some meaningless games for him. Statistically, the improvements were enormous for these 3 young guns when Christian Wood did not play. Alperen Sengun averaged 13.9 points, 7.7 rebounds and 4.4 assists in 30 minutes of action a night to end the year, about 4.5 more points per game than he averaged throughout the rest of the season. Jalen Green took arguably the biggest leap of them all, with him averaging damn near 30 points per game without Wood in those last 7 games, including a 41-point outburst in the final game of the season. KPJ also reached new heights in this stretch too, averaging 28.7 points, 7.4 rebounds and 7.3 assists in these games, shooting unbelievably from the floor and from behind the 3-point arc. It put on display the potential of this Rockets core, and how they had taken advantage of the increased opportunity without Wood on the floor. After seeing that consistently for a fortnight, it's obvious to see why this deal was a no-brainer for Rafael Stone. Sure, the Rockets didn't win a whole lot of these games, but at this point in time it doesn't matter, especially when it was clear that the young core fit much better and played a lot better without Wood on the floor. What ultimately matters for the Rockets in their current situation is the development of players like Jalen Green, KPJ, Sengun, and soon Banchero potentially. These guys are the future of this franchise, and it's clear as day how much better they were when Christian Wood wasn't on the floor. So again, that's why this trade makes so much sense to me. To be completely honest, I've been a pretty big advocate for Christian Wood the past couple seasons, but I'm not completely mad to see him go. just because I know how much this move will benefit him. He joined the Rockets looking for playoff success. We still had Harden when he signed on, so it would suck to see him waste away his promising prime with a rebuilding club. On Dallas, he's almost surely going to break out, so this is a real positive for him. That's why ultimately, I view this as a win-win trade. Of course, Dallas wins this trade at first glance. Pairing Luka with an athletic big like Wood is going to be nuts. But at the same time, the Rockets clearly didn't need Wood, and there's very recent evidence to prove just how big of a leap we can expect out of their young players to begin next season without him. Sure, maybe they could have got a bit more in return, but I don't think the package is that bad. And I think at the end of the day, the Rockets just want to see guys like Jalen Green and KPJ break out. And with a trade like this, they give themselves every chance of doing so. But those are all my thoughts on this trade. Let me know all your thoughts on this trade down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your analysis on both sides of this deal. Thanks for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next one.